What's up, everybody? What is up? Hopefully, everybody's having a great day. I've got some special guests in the back. They're sitting back there. Hopefully, can everybody hear me? Hopefully, everybody give me a thumbs up, Hexplosive. If you can hear me. Okay, you guys can hear me. Let me bring up the one, the only, the Hexplosive artist. He's here. He is here. How's it going, Hexplosive artist?
Good, man. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, been a while. I just visited him last week. So yeah, it's been a while.
Making the rounds, traveling
man.
And
I'm a traveling man. Also, we have the one and only, the man behind the curtain. If this was Oz, the rags to riches. What is up, dude? What is up? First time, yeah,
bro.
First time we got to meet.
Let's turn up, man. What's up, fam? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you, bro?
Dude, I can't complain, man. I got this hat on Saturday and I can't keep it off my damn head, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I'd be sleeping with that thing on.
Well, my dome piece is so big. It's nice to have something bigger to cover it up.
I've got the same thing happening. Don't worry.
You should try one out, man. It's kind of cool.
Well, I bought a cowboy hat at a flea market, a Texas flea market that I went to recently. And boy, I don't know if you've been to Texas flea markets.
Let's see.
But holy smoke, I don't even know where it's at. I can get it. But geez, it's like a hoarder's paradise. Like, I think that they just are. It's like it's an excuse to hoard these flea market. Flea market. What the hell? What the hell was that? Oh, it's my own thing. It's my own thing. Somebody donated.
Rug.
But rug, yeah. Hex Dog gave me the $20.
What
was that?
I thought that was in real life.
Hex Dog, thank you for the $20, dude.
Thank you, Kong. Thank you.
Very nice,
thank you. But yeah, I went to a flea market. I don't know if you've ever been to one.
Dude, flea markets rock, man. You kidding me?
Well, no, I've been to flea markets. I've just never been to a South Texas flea market.
They're kind of different everywhere you go. It seems like
it was wild. It was like I felt like I was back in the '60s for real. Like everything there was like the '60s. Everything that they were selling, it was great. So how is everybody doing? Hexplosive artists, we got to talk last week. Rags to riches, dude. Do you stream every day?
I do. I try to stream twice a day.
Twice a day. Dang. Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for 3 or 4 months now, I believe.
Okay. Are you trying to show Hexo up or something?
Well, I don't think I could ever come close to that because I don't do it on the weekends.
Oh, so you don't. Oh, okay. So not
Monday through Friday.
Okay.
I
really enjoy like your like some of your clips that I've heard. They're almost like a motivational, like it has a very motivational, pet talky, encouraging kind of style to it.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm trying to double down during the bear market, set the foundation, and just stay focused, man, because I'm just not going to be one of those people that disappear. That's important to me. Just keep showing up for my people because they show up for me too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's when they need you the most, right? Like people that are piecing out right now, it's like they'll come back in the bull market and they're going to get more, more subscribers, and you're just going to be like, well, I mean, you're the one that's working hard right now.
Right. And the thing is too, like you guys have done this, you know all about it. Not only do they need me, but I need them, man. It's good for your mental health. You can get on the stream, you can chop it up. It makes you feel good. It's a high. It's just it's a symbiotic relationship. Let's just put it that way.
Well, it becomes difficult for, at least in my world, after a while to, the only people you can really relate to in the present in most ways, like, especially as far as like, well, what do you do for a living type of thing, are other Hexicans. You know what I mean? So it's like, if they're, when I interact with somebody who has no idea about crypto or Hex in general, I could try to explain how it is that I pay bills and things like that, or what I get involved in as far as, finances and things like that. But
they just think it's wild.
It's so hard. It's like, what do you do? Planet. Oh, I'm into investing in software.
I know. I just say I'm a crypto shill.
Right. They're like, oh yeah, you're one of those. You eat Keebler cookies, drink Dr. Pepper, and live in your mom's basement. Awesome.
Yeah. They're like, great. Never mind.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's like you tell somebody that you should even shield crypto and they're like, what is that? And you're like, do you know what Bitcoin is? And then usually you get a 50-50 on that. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh,
they've at least
yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah, but you've heard of Bitcoin? It's like, yeah, it's that pretty much. It's that. That's what I usually have to tell people. And I dress up like a doctor. I go on the internet.
Causes a lot of problems in public.
Yeah, I cosplay.
People are expecting him to help in emergencies, and he's like,
Do
"Wait,
you LARP too? Anybody
No.
LARP here? Plus
I
one in
LARP.
chat if you LARP.
Yeah, I've been LARPing.
yeah,
I've like Hexplosive artist said, I'm gonna bring the coat in Vegas when we go to Vegas, and somebody's gonna ask if there's a doctor. Somebody's gonna be having a heart attack, and they're gonna
Somebody's gonna go into
running over
labor or
there.
something."
I'm the doctor. Let me get it. I've got this. It's
We
gonna
could
happen.
shill our LARP NFT foam swords in Vegas too. Get that going.
Ooh,
Okay.
form foam swords, nice.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So, did you have a good fourth, Rex Riches? Did you?
Yeah, man. I had a good fourth, man. I had a great fourth. We Crypto Heartbeat and I did some work. We launched a little token on the fourth, so that was nice. And
Oh, good for you, man.
And I drank 2.5 beers and felt obliterated because I haven't been drinking that much. So yeah, lightweight. It was great. Great
I'm in
time.
the same boat.
Yeah, we
I
don't
can't
know.
drink.
I don't know. Me and Hexplosives never drink. I mean, we never. I mean,
Not
we
very
used to
often.
drink. Don't get us wrong.
Right?
Yeah. We got it out
you
of
were
our
in the service,
system.
right?
I was in the Navy. Yeah,
You're in
but
the
I
Navy.
was
Nice,
I
man.
was with a lot. Were you in the Marines, Explosive Artists?
Yes.
Yes.
You're both.
And you
We're
were
both in the
too.
Navy.
So I was
Yeah,
with.
we're in the same unit.
I spent a lot of time with the 26 Mu.
Oh,
And,
dude, we were
okay.
at 2-4 Mu.
Yeah, we were. I was at 26 Mu and attached to the 26 Mu. And dude, woo, we tore it up. We went to West Africa. That was wild.
Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Did you guys?
That'd
where-
have been
where
fun.
The what is the Abu Dhabi or no? What is
Abu
the
Dhabi?
weird one? What's the weird one? That's Djibouti.
Dubai.
Oh,
Djibouti.
Djibouti.
Oh,
Djibouti.
Djibouti.
Yeah,
West
yeah.
Africa.
I knew it
East
had
Africa.
booty in it. Yeah.
I think
remember that
Djibouti's
one.
East Africa, Ethiopia, Djibouti.
Yeah, it's
we did
Eastern.
pirate ops there, but then we got to go in country quite a bit on West Africa. That
That'd
was
be
mind
fun,
blowing.
man. That'd
Yeah.
be fun.
Dude.
We had
So
to take a ship from San Diego to Kuwait and then back.
Yeah.
And then we did one exercise where it was Okinawa to the Philippines and back. So we
Yeah.
got to spend a lot of time on a boat for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, I was on. You guys were on an LHD, I presume.
Yep,
Yep.
LHD4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
the
on LHD 5,
Oh, what was that? Which
Ooh.
one's
the
that?
baton.
Oh, okay, we were on the Boxer and what was the other one?
The Essex.
Essex.
Yep, yep, Essex. Cool. Yeah, so you guys know, man. Like,
Yeah.
did you guys get seasick?
Nah, not
I
too bad.
never did.
Did you?
Right?
I
I
didn't, but I remember when we picked up all the Marines at Cherry Point, North Carolina, and we picked them up in the amphibs and they came on the boat, and
Oh, yeah.
like half the Marines got sick, so we sent them
Really?
to sick bay and had these little stickers we put behind their
Oh,
ear and
yeah.
said they were medicated, so they were walking around and like, yeah, I'm good now, bro, and it was nothing. All the sailors were cracking up.
I am not surprised. I
That's
knew people
hilarious.
that would get sick on the amphib. You know what I mean?
Well, those things are way worse.
They're about to vomit. in
Those
the
things are way
amphib. I'm
worse
like,
than the ship, dude. Those things are way worse.
Oh yeah,
Those
yeah,
things are
yeah.
way
It's a
worse.
little
being,
choppier.
being strapped in 4 racks high, like 15 feet
Yeah.
up. Dude, that was wild, man.
Oh,
But then
dude.
you guys would eat all our freaking food like locusts, bro.
Well, did you guys have 24-hour
got-
chow on your
No,
ship?
we didn't have 24-hour chow.
We had 24-hour chow, but dude, it sounds amazing. You're like, oh, 24-hour chow. You go down there at freaking like 3 o'clock in the morning and they're serving hot dogs and mashed potatoes.
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And
You're like,
hard-boiled eggs.
yeah, or like spaghetti with no meat sauce or any
Yeah.
sauce. It's like,
Did y'all
okay,
put
you're gonna give me this. This is what you're
dude,
giving
it's they had the craziest stuff, and we never got good food unless important people were on the ship. It was like
Oh,
rice
Dude,
and fish in Texas.
have you seen
Pete.
the officers?
Yeah.
The officers share they share a room, their own room
I
with
know.
one other officer, and then they get like steaks cooked to order for chow.
No.
Like, yeah, dude, yeah. Rose, I forget what's the dude's name that worked in the. He worked up on the officer's deck, like serving chow to the officer. He's like, it's amazing. It's like better than what we could get.
I didn't know.
It
I
is a
thought they had to
civilian.
eat our food. They don't eat our food.
Nah,
don't
they
No,
eat
they
our
had
food.
their whole chow hall.
Those
and
sons
everything.
of bitches.
They have
I
like a
didn't even know that.
they have a Navy chief who's been a cook for 3 years, and he went to a special Navy culinary school,
Or just
and he
that.
They
served
haze
them
you.
all.
Is that real? Is that real?
Yes,
That's
it's
really
real.
What the?
Dude,
I should
You
have
have
been
to
an
scramble
officer.
eggs for like an hour straight before you
Dude,
can
you
pass
remember?
the course.
Did you ever, Regs? Did you ever have to put the boxes for the food on the ship where everybody? Where it's the huge
an underway replenishment.
Oh God,
When
yeah.
you go now, did you guys go ship by ship? You guys went side by side and transferred stuff over, or did you do it
Once
on
in a
port?
while. Once in a
usually,
while, side by side.
port, mostly port.
Yeah, the
Mostly
port
port.
stuff, dude, and especially a ship that size. If you've been out to sea for like 30 or 45 days, dude,
Yeah.
I couldn't even feel my arms the next day. I couldn't use them.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all the women on the ship, they fall out after 3 hours, and then you got 15 hours left to getting the damn job done. Because it's just physical labor, man. It's grueling.
Especially if you're in a hot area, temperature wise.
You know what's really funny? I think it's the funniest when all of these environmentalists, and I'm okay with.
Oh God!
But then you look at the back of the ship. You look at the back of the ship when it's trash day, and you just see them just tossing it all off.
You're on the flight deck, and you're
trash
like,
you guys are throwing
look how
off.
beautiful. And you just look behind you, and it's trash.
It's all paper. Don't worry, guys. It's all paper.
Yeah, it's all paper. We were just it's all
waste.
paper.
Dude, I know, man. If people knew half the stuff, man.
For real.
But we're probably feeding a lot of animals too. So
Cost, thank you for the $5. Thank you for the $5. Blown out everybody's ears. I don't know if that's super loud. I tried to turn it off. Let me see if I could turn that off.
I didn't hear nothing.
You didn't hear it? Oh, okay. It's just my ears. So yeah, I mean, it's the military is wild. I think it is very wild for all this stuff. Like when you're putting in the food and you see that it says not for human consumption and it's food, you're like, wait a second, I'm eating this later.
Did you guys ever get
give that one to us?
The jet fuel in the water? Did you guys ever have to do that? Drink that?
Oh, nuh-uh.
Somehow jet fuel got into the water supply, and it wasn't necessarily bad for you, just made you poop a lot. So we had to deal with JP5 in the water supply for like 3 weeks, man.
By the way, Cost, thank you for the $5. I don't know if I announced it, but thank you so much for that.
So yeah, dude, it was, oh man, good times.
Yeah. What was it? JP8 that we like spread all over in Iraq, and then we had lied it. Well, like we couldn't find it. We couldn't find a weapons cache, so they like came out with like a truck and they just sprayed it all in this. It
was a field of cattails.
Yeah, and then they were like, "All right, just get your what were
flares? Your 203 flares?
Yeah, 203. 203s. And they're like, we're just like, bloom, 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 and everybody's just throwing them in there. And it's like,
it's the biggest fire I've ever seen. I have it.
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was great.
Did you guys go to? Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Did you guys go to Camp Buring at all?
Buring.
What just happened? You told me to go ahead.
We're jinxing each other left and right.
Cost, thank you for the $20. I'll stop this nonsense.
Jinx, double jinx, personal jinx. You owe me a Coke.
It's like $20 if you guys stop.
Right.
Thank you, Cost, for the $20.
Thank you very much.
You're amazing.
Oh shoot.
So what were you saying, Rags to Riches?
Camp Buring. Okay, he didn't cut me off. Camp Buring, which is like I guess we were in the Northern Arabian Gulf, and then we flew into Kuwait, and it's like a staging area there, dude. And that place, man, that base was it was Camp Cupcake, man. They had a Baskin Robbins.
Oh,
they had a freaking like Burger King. They had like a unlimited wings.
Oh yeah. Was it an Air Force base?
I don't know if it was or not. It was a camp. So what is a camp? Camp is that Army? That's Marines, right?
No, if it was a Marine base, dude, you'd be wrecked.
Dude, ours was not.
Really?
There'd be T-rats.
Ours was like a friggin' 5-star hotel, man, in the middle of the desert. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Hey, Nelly, thank you for the $5. Hexo, my man, the way Denzel says it. Hexo, my man. Yeah, so you went to a camp in Kuwait. I can't remember what the camp was in Kuwait that we went to.
I want to say it was the same one because that sounds familiar. I remember Burger King, dude. I remember
Burger King and Baskin Robbins.
Because I know we stopped there on the way back.
Yeah.
And I remember the barracks or the tents we slept in, dude. It was like 28 degrees at night. I remember that too.
Yeah. No, people don't realize it gets cold. It gets cold in Iraq, dude. It was like, I remember it was like almost snowing. Like it was funny because I had post or watch from like 4 a.m. till like 12 p.m. in the
brutal.
afternoon. And so in the morning, you're wanting to bundle up, but if you put a sweater on over your flak jacket,
you
had to wear that you had to wear that sweater for the entire time because you
if it's under, you still had to access all your ammo and your gear and stuff. So you couldn't put it over.
Yeah, so you'd come out and you couldn't have the sweater on, so you'd just be freezing for a few hours, and then by like 9 o'clock it's blazing hot, and you're freaking so hot that you can't, so you'd have to choose which one you want to be.
You go to take a shower, and then you walk out of the shower to go to your barracks 15 feet away, and you're instantly sweating right after you shower, dude.
Oh,
Good
dude,
God,
it's crazy hot over there. It's
not
only that,
hot.
but it is. And then you're running around. It's Kuwait's actually not that bad. I mean, they got that's where all the cans.
It was just an endless
Iraq
beach.
is just,
there was no plants. It was just nothing but you felt like you were in the biggest sandbox. That's where I guess where it comes from.
One weird thing that sticks out in my head. I remember this sign, and it was like 223 days since the last car accident on base. I'm like, that's so random. Why are they doing that? I remember seeing that, dude, out in the middle of nowhere, and that's what's important to them. How about 223 days till somebody didn't pass away? How about that or anything else?
Yeah,
freaking weird.
When did you serve over there?
2000. Let me think. So 2004, 2005, it was in boot camp. 2000, probably like 2007, 2008.
Okay, what year did you go in?
2004, I went into delayed entry program, then 2005 into boot camp.
Oh, okay. So we were in 2004 to 2008. So we went in pretty much the same time.
Probably around. Yeah.
Just missed you.
Missed me.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a West Coast, you probably would have been on the same ship.
I definitely would have. I was actually a weather guy. So I trained with Marines at Keesler Air Force Base. We went to a school there, our A school. With the freaking Air Force. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to call it like it is. Freaking Air Force. And,
Air Force.
A whole new world. That's what it is.
Is it great? Is it great?
It's so strange. It's not the military, man, to me.
Really?
Now, I'm not going to take away there's certain parts of the Air Force, but guys, it's freaking. I remember so I get out of boot camp. I go to A school. And I go to the chow hall and I'm eating and I go to take my tray and somebody comes up to me and puts their hand in front of me and says, hey, you can leave your tray on the table. I'm like, what?
They're like, mind
blown. Yeah. And they're like, it's a thing. Like you're supposed to. I'm like, okay, whatever. Freaking weird. So it was good times, man.
They had a Chili's at the base on Okinawa, like a full Chili's at the Air Force base.
But that was packed.
Yeah, I was. I mean, Air Force is one of those where. Well, it's funny because you always, we've got like the 30-year-old. We've got old Army stuff that they gave us, and like you see Air Force dudes running around with M4s while you still got an M16A2. And you're like, wait a second, dude, you're never gonna use that. Give that to me, bro.
You're not even leaving this wire.
You're so right about that. You're so right about that. Man.
It's crazy, but they get so much money. It's like that's what they get.
They're very selective now too. It's hard to get in.
Oh, I
hear that too.
So
plus, Marine Corps grunts,
Yeah, we were the grunts. They didn't give it. They were like, yeah, you're a little bullet.
Like, can we trust this dude with a rocket launcher and maybe a machine gun?
Well, if they don't give you equipment, they give you some pride. Y'all got some pride, and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
Yeah, we have some good stories at least.
I bet you do.
So Hex, beautiful Hex. You guys love it. We all love it. Hex price almost 4 cents, guys. If you haven't looked, it is 3.98. We were crossing over there. I heard you earlier, Rags. You're saying that you might think that this is the bottom. You're.
Here's what I think. I think that this might be a little bit of a burn from the Fox News stuff that happened yesterday with Richard, maybe. But here's the unfortunate thing about this actually. Is that this one more fall off? I think we're at the bottom, but there's a lot of heavy pressure on the economy right now with all these rate hikes that they've got planned out over the next 6 or 8 months. So I think as soon as they start turning those money printers back on, which I think they will probably next year, I think that's when crypto can really moon hard. But until then, it's going to be kind of weird up in the air. What do y'all think?
Do you think it's just crypto, or do you think the Hex will kind of detach from the?
I definitely think Hex can detach if we get a little bit more news on Pulse Chain. I think that's going to be the catalyst. Obviously, I think a lot of people. I mean, I tell my folks this: it's like pulling that slingshot back. Wait, there we go. Pull the slingshot back. We're pulling it back. As soon as we get that news, we're going to let that thing loose.
Right.
And I think it'll tear. I think it will. But until that point, there's just there's not much fundamentals there.
I mean, you see like almost everybody. I mean, Rand Noir, I saw him kind of saying that Richard Hart was he's like great, fascinating to watch. BitBoy is starting to turn, it's like everybody started. And I think it's because everything that they've shilled, is obviously going to zero, or not zero, but it's like, it's all kind of tanking. Hex has kind of already done the tanking, which is, if it goes down to a penny, it's like what, a 75% dip from here, but also like 3 to 1, like nobody really cares that much. I don't think, like, it's like, it's not a big number to people. So I think it's got more potential to go up than it does down. But like you said, there is a lot of pressure. There's a lot of nonsense going on in the news and stuff like that. Hopefully when the CERN turned on, we all took a new timeline, and this is the
Georgia Guidestones, bro. What's up with that, man?
Right? Like, things are all starting to go good. You got 54 people in the UK resigning. I don't know if that's good or bad, but hey, let's I mean, it's not.
Richard Hart really does look like a total genius when he talks to people like he did on the show for Fox.
Bingo.
Like he exposes people if they're unprepared. It makes it, like I was talking to Hexo about it. It's like showing up to work when you're expected to have something ready, and you show up to a meeting in front of everybody and you have nothing ready. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't do a little bit of research. You want to talk about this like ridiculous lawsuit out of all the other things that have been going on.
$500. Good job. Like, yep.
Well, the ultimate truth engine is time.
Yeah.
And how about this? Thank God for this bear market, because now none of these people can hide from Richard, because it's all out in the open now.
Yeah.
Right, and I've been saying, people, like, guys, if you're not on board with Hex after we come out of this bear market and the bodies are laying bloody all over the floor and Richard Hart's just standing up doing this to everybody,
right?
Like, what else can you do, man? What more proof do you need? It's case after case after case that he's called. Yeah. And here we are.
It seems like that's been happening the past several months, like you said, with BitBoy. Like, people, it's undeniable after a certain amount of time. It's like, I just look stupid, going along with a lot of these narratives.
Yeah, it doesn't like, I was kind of upset that Fox News really just talked about how he was a scammer, but I also think that if they ever have him back on, it's out of the way now, and now they can talk about real stuff, and he can give them a lot of information. They don't need to keep harping on it if they decide to bring him back on. Which
I really see. I don't know which. I think everybody knows what my political leanings are, but I kind of see the Bitcoin folks. They've kind of turned into this weird ideology, and as I'm hearing this guy like talk about Richard and talk about the scams and things, I'm like, I know that guy has a little Bitcoin bro in his text messages, and is like, ask Richard this, ask Richard that. What about this random website that nobody's ever seen, and it's only has 2 articles on it? Post that, blah blah blah. So ultimately it's the same story. It is publicity. It is a step in the right direction. People don't get upset about it. It's awesome, and it's only going to get better, I think.
Yeah. And I mean, with those articles, I mean, we looked at them yesterday, and it's just hater articles. It's like, it's a scam because of this. And it's like, okay, man, like, it's been going on for 2.5 years. Like, how is it scamming people? Oh, he has 80% of it, or 88%. And like I always say, I don't care if Richard has 95% of it. And I hope he does, because guess what? Richard ain't selling it. He's got 1,000 or 1,000,000 ETH or whatever.
There's nobody else I'd rather have.
Like, that, it's like, you plebs with the weak little baby boy hands. Those are the ones we don't need with the holding any Hex. Like,
exactly.
I have my Hex. You guys have your Hex, and the little baby boys can pick up the little tiny amount that's still out there. Yeah, the pennies that are still out there. But I mean, honestly, like you said, I think there was probably somebody out there that was angry. Who was the guy? I can't remember, the big YouTuber that Richard had a couple of months ago.
Meet Kevin.
Pink hair. Yeah. It seemed like he had somebody in his ear too that was like, tell him about the spam king. So the spam king, it's like, dude, you're not even getting these from yourself. There's no way you came up with any of this. But
when you compare it to the other scandals with other people involved in different projects, it's like, what? It's like most people have broken the law worse than that, like, or done something more egregious, in the past week.
Well, that's why that they didn't.
This is 20 years ago.
Do any of their research. They just they're just They're all parrots. So they're like, scam. Like, okay.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, Donald Trump has mental disorders. Enter Joe Biden, Exhibit A, and everybody's like, what? What? That's what this is. All the bodies are falling, and they're still like, look at Richard Hart. Look at Richard Hart. Yeah. Like, golly,
which is good that they're pointing at him, because it's like now we get to kind of reap the benefits of that.
Right.
People are going to look in it after, if Hex starts 100%. Blowing up, they're going to be like, oh, I heard about that scam, that scam on Fox Business. Then they're going to research it. Then they're going to watch Richard, and then they, fall in love. They're going to have pictures of Richard on their walls.
There'll be a daily prayer time.
Well, how come here's the problem. How come I didn't even in my mind I just let that slide?
Like, yeah, that sounds about right.
It looks like one of those worn out photos that have been on a wall for 20 years that my Jewish grandmother would have.
You softened it too. It looks like a did. Shot.
No, it was like really it's my ode to the Kim Jong-un, kind of.
Yes, that's what it is. From 1971.
Like a janky little frame too.
Smoke stained. Yeah, dude. Love it.
I have to pray to it every morning when the sun rises and when it sets.
He talks to it.
You have to face Hexaco on your every morning.
Oh, 5555.
Oh gosh, chat. I know you're not laughing right now. Crypto Stylist says troublemaking trio. I think that's accurate.
It's great to have Mr. Rags to Riches on.
Oh my land!
Yeah, man. It's
how did you find out about Hex? Richard Hart? I like to talk about.
Yeah.
So Twitter targeted me with this flipping idiot in a top hat, and I was like, well, I'll follow him. He's entertaining.
Right.
And then I remember, guys, I'm not ashamed to say that, that curve that Richard talks about, the smart people, the people,
and
then the dumb people. I was the person who thought I was smart.
Right.
So I'm seeing Hexo and I'm seeing Richard, and he's like, guys, time to claim, do this right now. Adoption amplifier, this or that. I'm like, what is this all about? And people are getting richer and richer and richer. And I was like, still on the fence. And then I bought a little bit in beginning of 2021.
Okay.
And then I saw him absolutely dismantle Alex Saunders.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest body bag event I've ever seen.
First one or the Lions Den when he went into Lions Den, or it was the second one? The
second one, before I started talking about Hex really, and he ended the man's career, literally. And the dude went to rehab for a year.
I did that thumbnail.
He's dead now.
He was like, I was asking Richard, I was like, what do you want the title of the thing? He's like, ended Bitcoiner's career live on stream. That's what I wanted. I was like, oh, this is great. He got a huge amount of views just for that.
I couldn't believe it. Now, here's the thing. Can you imagine if Richard hadn't shared those screenshots from Alex Saunders?
Right.
All of these major influencers, BitBoy Crypto, all these guys would have just kept their mouth shut, and people would have continued to get taken advantage of.
Yep. And I mean, yes, Bitcoin or BitBoy even came out and was like, yeah, he borrowed money from me.
Correct.
I can't remember how much he
was the first one that backed Richard.
Right. Yes. Yep.
I think Richard has been an incredible example for BitBoy. He's made a lot of changes to his show and his business, and yeah, he has, man. He's not accepting paid shills and things like that anymore. And he's talking about Richard in a really good way. But I mean, you got to adapt. You got to join the right side, or otherwise you're just going to be like everybody else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and a lot of these guys got to be scared because they shill everything under the moon. And then when it all comes crashing down, these people are going to be start looking, you know, pointing fingers, and like, you know, and I kind of, that's what I used to do is I would be like, this is where this dude shelled. With Elio trades, it was easy because it was like with anybody that was an influencer back in 2017, late 2017, it's like, dude, you can see where they shelled it and where it's at now, and it all went down to 90, you know, and these guys were, it was like the day they shelled it, and then the day, you know, today it's down 99%, and they're just like, it was every single YouTube guy though, so it's like, you know,
and then if you add in like he also said something negative about Richard, then it's like even more, but it's even perfect. It's like icing on the cake, you know.
Yep.
Like and smack and you show the crap project.
And the sad thing about this is, man, that is just the template for crypto at large. And there are a lot of people that don't know any other way. I was one of those people. Everybody here is one of those people, probably before Richard. But then there's something to be said and something to be held account for when you hear the truth, but you kind of push it away. At that point, it's like, okay, now it's different.
Right.
Now you've been shown what's possible. You know the difference between right and wrong, but it continues to happen.
Yep. I agree. Like when somebody's been, you know, told the truth and they just don't want to accept it. It's like, all right, you're doing it maliciously instead of actually like taking it, because then it does seem like they're trying to do it just for money, or they signed their soul to the devil or whatever. It's like, all right, dude.
It kind of goes with the, you know, when Richard says people love to buy tops and sell bottoms. Like I remember when he first said that, I was like, really? But like, it's so true. You know, people are only rushing to get in when the prices are.
Well, they got the dopamine flowing through their brains, so they're not making right decisions. They're seeing that price go up, 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 up. In a bear market, you just don't see that, and you're pessimistic, and it's like, let's go jump off a bridge together. But this is the best time to do it, man. Best time to do it.
Two Marines and a sailor walking to the bar. What's up, Vince?
Bad news.
Yeah.
All dogs and all sailors stay off my lawn. That was a sign in Norfolk at many places, by the way. Guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Were you a WOG, a polywog? Or
Shellback.
Did you become a Shellback? Shellback, that's what I meant. Everybody's a polywog and then you become it. Dude, that was the wild. Did you become a Shellback?
Yeah.
Dude, what a wild freaking event.
You
what a wild. Too? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shellback,
dude. Sweet.
You know, I gotta tell this story. You just reminded me of a story. Like, because we did get messed with all day, you know what I mean? Like expected. But we had this one staff sergeant, he was with Intel, and he came into our berthing area where everybody lived, acting like he was gonna start hazing people. He had a couple cans of shaving cream.
Yeah.
And for some reason, like 5 or 6 of us were like, hell no, and grabbed this guy that outranked us by like 5 ranks, and drug him into one of the storage lockers, and and you hear one of them, he's biting me, and the staff sergeant just comes out covered in the shaving cream, his shirt's all like,
well, you guys remember the night before, the WOGs have the rebellion, so if you do it the right way, the WOGs have the rebellion and they try to take over the ship.
And
dude, that's how well
do that.
We gotta do that
on the smaller ships. You guys probably had like admirals and shit on your ships, so that probably didn't fly. But I was on the Fort McHenry, dude, and the night before there's a rebellion, and I'm telling you, dude, people were getting choked out, people were getting sprayed down in the P-ways, man. There was AFFF everywhere, like, dude. It was wild. Did you guys have to eat the grape out of his belly button? Did you guys do?
No.
Got a little bit too dark.
Maybe because we're on the other side or something.
Well, no, I don't know. It's different parts of the Navy, I guess.
Yeah.
Dominic, thank you. I'm back alive. Got my taxes fixed, and as best as didn't have to sell my hex to get there. Fight, and we gotta make it. Thank you for the €100.
Thank you, Dominic. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. That's amazing, bro. Well done. Dude, it being like, so being a what was it, the continental divide or something like that? What is
the prime meridian and the equator?
Yeah, so if you cross that, you become from a polywog, you become a shellback, and like it doesn't matter what rank you are. If you're somebody that's a polywog, you're getting hazed that day. and it like
You're
isn't
eating
that what
food
it is?
off the floor. You're getting
Dude,
hosed
you
with
can
fire
haze
hoses.
E6s, E7s, E8s. It doesn't matter.
It
You're just
doesn't
getting your
matter.
ass beat for like 24 hours.
Dude, I remember getting up at the top and like having to run around. They're spraying you with hoses, and you're like,
Yeah,
I was like, what if I fall off this thing, dude?
Dude, for real, they're scary. Like, yeah, it's what a
Did
wild.
you guys ever
event.
do the Steel Beach? Where you
Oh,
basically
yeah,
parked out in the middle of the ocean, they dropped the back out, and then
A lot of fun, man.
Oh,
really
did we do that, Hexplosive? I don't think
we
we
did.
that.
We did.
we?
And
don't
they
remember.
grill
You
on the
guys-
flight deck.
They even have the in
Oh.
the manual, they have an SOP for you got to have M16s on watch for sharks while people are in the water. Did you guys get to go in the
Really?
water?
We
Mm-mm.
did. Yeah.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
back
so-
of
I
the
didn't
boat.
I didn't go at it.
They probably had two guys on the top deck there looking down just in case.
Interesting.
Being indoctrinated
It was
is
creepy.
intoxicating. You're right.
It is.
Fun.
It
It's
is.
a great time for everyone.
It's like marriage. It's a great institution.
I would
if you
say
like
the
being
indoctrination
institutionalized.
happens in boot camp. The
Yeah.
polywog thing to Shellback is more of like that's the only time you'll ever have fun in the military.
Right. That's the only
Literally.
It's
time.
a fun hazing. It's
It
a
was
fun
like
hazing.
it was a great time. Like if I was a Shellback getting a freaking pound of freaking E8 or something like that.
Whoa,
It
whoa.
would be great. Not that way. Not that way.
Easy, partner.
You like that? This is happening on my watch, bud.
Now, if you cross the
What?
equator at the prime meridian, you become a diamond shellback.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that was a
So
thing.
I got
know
the
there were
diamond shellback,
stages.
bros.
Dang.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
that's the cool stuff.
Interesting.
Now, a lot of the flat earthers are going to be pissed off right now. Sorry, guys, but that's just the case. All right.
It's just where you're at.
Yeah, this is where I'm at, man.
Well, you didn't cross Antarctica. You know, you got to get past the wall.
The ice
and then you'll
Then you're
be
real.
Yeah, then you're the hardest substance known to man, which is
Then you've
Richard
got
Hart's,
some nautical
Richard
miles.
Hart's Red Bull can on a
Bam.
weekend.
Boom. Boom. All right. I just lost half of my followers. Thanks, guys.
Well,
Sorry.
maybe one of these days, Hex hits
Um,
$10 or something. We buy our own little boat. You know,
Did you have to go for a second grape for the diamond round?
No, dude. Once you're a
the diamond
diamond, you're
round.
good. Once you crossed, you're good.
yeah, you're good for life.
So
I got the plaque.
Do you? You got? There's a plaque that.
Well, we got a paper. We got a paper that it's all fancy. It's like a diploma looking thing. Did y'all get that?
No, we got the
Dude.
freaking
The coin?
coin, the challenge coin.
Yeah. We got
That
that.
has-
Yeah. Yeah.
That's drinking free.
what-
You get to drink free. That's good.
Really? I get it.
Yeah. You slam that on a Navy base, and if they don't have one, then they got to buy you drinks, bro.
Dang.
Yeah, you
No,
didn't
it
know
was
I
that?
had no
something.
idea.
No,
Now you know.
I just
Now
thought
you
I got
know.
a coin that I could just show people. They're like, "What the hell is that?"
Well, it's a coin. They gave it to you.
It's a coin, bro. It's a coin. Get it off my table.
Speaking
So,
of Navy, dude, Hexo, did you get a haircut, bro?
Yeah, recently. Yeah.
Well done, man. Well
Thank you.
done.
Well, it's my
Looks
wife
sharp.
that does that. My wife that.
Oh,
She
that
does
sucks.
hair.
It's your way. That's horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I used to. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this. You have to keep-
You're like, you have to make sure she's not mad at you first.
yeah, that's true.
She's like, whoops.
a little low here. So yeah, we're going up to 4 cents. I'm hoping that you think that there's probably one more leg down before we start or at least a year, you said.
I
Maybe a
think
year.
I'm thinking I think all right. So I've told people this. What's happening right now with the US economy is that the US economy just took 9 shots of tequila, and they're getting in their Camaro and they're trying to drive home at 95 miles an hour before they get drunk.
Right.
All right. So they can make it safe. So what happened with the Fed? They are rugging the economy right now to slow down inflation, and they're going to try to get it slowed down enough to where they can start printing money again.
Right.
And I think that that's what we're waiting for. And I think that the very least they'll stop taking money out of the supply, and it'll just be net zero, or they'll print a little bit more. Once that printing starts, I'm going to estimate that happens in Q1 or Q2 2023. That's when stocks and that's when crypto is going to go absolutely crazy. So we have one more leg down, and I think we chop sideways for a while on our bottom. I think so.
Yeah, 5 months. I can wait out for 5 more months.
Yeah.
Or maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but do you think that that it ever could bust? Like, I don't think the U.S. economy will ever bust. I think that they'll just keep printing. It's all like scare tactics for everybody, kind of thing. It's not. It'll all, maybe something happens, but they'll already have something in place to put it, and maybe they'll make us suffer for a year or two. But
yeah,
they're already kind of doing, like locking us in our houses.
Yeah,
for
it's usually a big
years
plan
and-
in place most of the time.
Yeah.
I think the next big play here is, and if you kind of look back in history, what happens in history when governments inflate their currency? They debase their currency,
Right.
then the value goes to almost nothing.
Right.
And what do? Then they change currencies. I think the next big iteration is going to be the CBDC, the digital currency, and they're going to kind of phase us into that.
Right.
Now, if you know about the CBDCs, that's some scary freaking stuff, because they took all the great things from crypto and turned it bad. It's programmable. Like, you're going to have a government wallet. They can turn your money on and off if they want to. They can add extra taxes to certain goods or services if they don't want you, or they want to disincentivize you to use that stuff. It's just like, if we don't have a cashless society, privacy, or if we have a cashless society, privacy's gone.
Right.
And I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
that's why it's so important for us to just get on board with cryptocurrency. It's first phase is learning about it and wanting to make money, but the second phase is like, how does it fit into what's happening in the world? And it's our only alternative, guys, in my opinion.
So what do you say when somebody says that it is? Our cryptocurrency already is kind of a CBDC kind of thing. I mean, they can track everything that you're doing, anything that you input in. Like, if I buy some, I've got to go through Coinbase. For Coinbase, I've got to have my social security number. I've got to have all this stuff. And then when I send it to an address, guess what? It's tied to that, what I just sent it to. So, I mean, it's kind of already here in cryptocurrency, I see. And I feel like a lot of people, in Bitcoin, they say it's like, I got into Bitcoin thinking it was like anonymous, that nobody could ever track me. That's what they went with. Maybe I was just an idiot, but when I got in 2016, it was like, oh, I could do, I can buy whatever I want. I'm a hacker boy, but then you come to find out it's completely the opposite, where they can track every single move that you've ever done. And then you're like, oh, wait, this is like actually really bad. And you don't want people to be able to track every single purchase. I mean, you got people out there already that are trying to dox wallets and be like, hey, look what this guy's doing. He's selling, or he's doing this, and it's this guy's wallet. And, it doesn't, like, I see on Twitter where people are like, this guy's got 35 million hex, he's selling this. Okay, that's fine. But once you put a name to that wallet, I think that's kind of like, dude, don't do that.
That's exactly it. It's the fact that the government they'll actually have control over invalidating your wallet and invalidating your coins. That's the biggest difference. CBDCs, they're rough, man. Yeah,
just invalidating. That makes sense. I mean, they could still do it. I mean, I just say it's illegal to, if you
I guess they could do that with my account as it is right now, couldn't they?
Not your wallet, like your Ethereum,
but like
wallet,
my bank account.
Do that, but with your bank account, and then you could only use cryptocurrencies. Like,
you could do private cryptocurrency OTC stuff, purchases and buys. So you could go to your friend, he's got some. You could do it that way. But with the CBDC, they see everything. They know all.
They know who it is.
They can lock you down. Let's say the IRS has some dispute with whatever, and they say, you know what? We're just gonna press this button and turn all this stuff off.
Right.
And it's on accident. But hey, it's on accident. And guess what? Now you're stuck. You don't have access to funds. You can't do anything. And I just think that, judging by history, any time when a government has so much centralized control over a nation's economics or finances, nothing good ever comes out of it. And this is not any different, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's, I mean, I didn't know. I've never read up on the CBDCs. But I could tell with cryptocurrency that it's the new. I mean, that's why I got into it, because I was like, yeah, maybe it's not that bad, but I know it's going to move into that new digital. It is the future, but like, you kind of know that they're going to use it for bad. Like, so hopefully they don't.
The scariest thing was, I saw this plan, and the Biden administration sent out an executive order, I think 8 or 9 months ago. And they said they want all of the departments to come together and get a plan for the CBDC. They've got MIT working on the CBDC. But here's what's scary. They said if you are a person that has a net worth of, say, like $1 million or more, right? When these CBDCs get rolled out, they might airdrop you maybe 40 cents on the dollar. Okay. If you're a person with a high net worth. However, check this out. You want to talk about redistribution of wealth and socialized economics. If you're a person that has less than $1 million, say you're a person that has $100,000 or $10,000 or nothing, they will airdrop you $1.50 for every dollar that you own.
Right.
Now the question becomes, is that fair? I don't know. I don't think that's very fair. Most people who are millionaires, for example, in the United States are self-made, something like 75 or 85%. And they've worked their butts off and made the decisions very well for years and years and years. So that's the type of stuff that I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? It's not just about ease of use. It's about some other grimy, weird stuff going on.
Yeah, you don't want somebody to be able to do. I mean, if it was a 1-for-1, then it's like, okay, but like you're saying, they're trying to distribute it to. But the thing is I don't know if you've ever heard where people say, like, if rich people, or if they were to take all the money away and print out brand new money, and everybody started the same, the rich people, most of them would be rich, but in a few years anyway, and the poor people would be it would be poor again. So I mean, there is that, but it's just like, why would you take away somebody's hard-earned money like that with 0.4? We're gonna airdrop you 0.4. I mean, those we've all worked hard. If you somebody takes your money away just because that's how it happens, it's like, well, that's just.
Or imagine if you have a fossil fuel car. Right. And the government's trying to get you to go to electric and buy like a Tesla or whatever the case may be. And you go to the fuel pump, and with the CBDC, they have it programmed to be used at these gas stations that you get an extra 25-cent tax per gallon to try to disincentivize you to do that. Yeah. So
they kind of do that in California already, man. Like, they've got crazy taxes over there. That's why you see $7 a gallon. Because they put crazy taxes on your gas. Right. They want you to be on the electric vehicles. And we went to California, 5 months ago, and we had this game where it was like the slug bug, where every time you'd see a Tesla, you'd hit each other. Dude. It was like California. This is the worst place that you want to play this game, because we were just everywhere.
I had a hole in my shirt.
Tesla. We had to stop playing.
Beef on his shoulder.
We had to stop playing, dude. We were like, dude, this is stupid, because you'd go on the freeway and everybody is driving a Tesla.
Yeah,
because it only makes sense when they're $7 a gallon. I mean, when you can buy a $40,000 electric vehicle, it's like,
that performs really well.
This. Yeah, I mean, I don't like. Yeah,
I don't have one. I have. I mean, one of my vehicles has a 454 from the 90s. You know what I mean? It's like,
it's 12 miles a gallon.
I don't really drive it right now because but it's a little impractical right now. But I don't know. I think you should be able. We were talking the other day about how the infrastructure to support all the electricity for these electric cars is going to cause all kind of problems eventually too, once it gets past a certain point. So it's like, it's like which one's really better in the long run? It's like
the real problem is the lithium.
Right.
It's really hard to come by that. In fact, the like Europe and in the United States, they have a net negative or net neutral carbon emissions by 2035.
Right.
The plans that they have is not supported in reality because there's not enough lithium in the world to create the batteries to power everything that they want to power. So then if you realize that they know that, then the real question becomes, well, what is their actual motive? If they know it's not possible, what's their actual motive? And I've always said that if there is a problem, the government doesn't want the problem solved. They want the problem to stick around because they can continue to put legislation in and take money and taxes and just keep power over people as long as there's problems to do so. And I just see that all over the place, especially with this type of stuff.
Right. Hexy Ben says most people can only afford to buy older used vehicles. Going to be decades before people can buy old used electric vehicles. And dude, and that's one of the things is where they're making the prices high on the old vehicles. So it makes more sense to buy just an electric vehicle, because it's like, dude, I have to pay for a 2018 Expedition at $35,000. Why wouldn't I buy a brand new Tesla for $35,000?
Right.
Like, it doesn't make sense, and I have to pay for the gas on this thing, and at least at the Tesla. So yeah, I think that everybody praises Tesla, and I whatever, I'm not trying to hate them, but they might be like,
I wouldn't mind having one.
There might
I just want to have an option.
A play for like a evil corporation. Who knows?
I mean, he's controlling my car, just driving it off a cliff at will. GMC, you know what I mean? I have no computer in that thing.
Yeah, but what would you like? What would happen if the government got a control of it and then they could just drive you off a cliff? Then they didn't like
on my truck.
They're like, "Hey, see you later, buddy."
Skynet, like Terminator type stuff.
They're like, "We don't care." They just send a drone and just fire off a missile at me.
For real. I mean, I and I don't mind electric vehicles. It is just the next, and maybe this is how the guys that horse and buggy we're talking about, the cars are like, well, I don't know about them gas electric or gas vehicles. They might
the price of feed.
I'm not against this. I'm not against electric vehicles. Okay, what I'm against is the government legislating it and making our life worse.
Manipulating it one way or the other.
Right. Until the technology, we need to innovate instead of legislate. Until the technology gets there, let's not make our quality of life worse. But they've got everybody freaked out that the world's going to end because of climate change every 5 years. And then it's another 5 years. And then we should be underwater and burning right now, according to Al Gore 20 years ago. It's like, okay, when are we going to kind of look around here and check this stuff out? So, so that's the thing that frustrates me, the legislation.
Yeah.
I mean, a bunch of combustion engine maxi degen environment. Yeah, kill the environment. I agree with you, Rags, where it's like I'd rather them innovate than just like legislate us into making us do something, because I mean that's not what the government's there for. Like, if you want to make your green energy kind of stupid stuff, it's like, dude, what? Like, I get it. Doesn't everybody want to breathe better? Like, everybody wants, but it doesn't look like the lithium is a good idea too in the long run. And so it's like, really, your green energy is just like a shill for somebody's companies.
And then the other problem is you're charging your vehicle with existing power infrastructure, so you're still using it. So it's
people don't realize where the power is actually coming from. They're like, oh, it's clean. It's like, no, that's a coal burning freaking plant that you're getting that from, bro.
It'll get there. We'll figure it out, but just don't make our quality of life worse in the meantime.
Right. Yeah. I 100% agree.
The market can decide these things.
Yeah. Let's see, Samantha Kelly. I don't want to drive anything that someone can shut off when they decide they want to. Exactly. Especially the government, dude. They're like, it's like, nah, you didn't pay your taxes. They're gonna shut your thing off. You're a little behind on paying them taxes. Now your grandma's gonna strip for us while we
the repos will be easier though, right?
That's true.
That's the only way you can unlock.
Just press a button and your car drives back to the lot. You didn't pay your car payment.
Well, maybe that's what they want to do too, where it's like you have to buy a government-controlled vehicle.
It's like issued too.
It's issued. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty scary. Pretty scary 1984 type of. But hey, CERN turned on, guys, and we're back on the good timeline. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're on
what's a Guidestone? I don't even remember.
We're back on the good timeline.
That's just a big Mandela effect, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, let's not think of the bad things. Let's think about the good things.
We got $10 hex.
Hopefully, $10 hex, $100 hex, $10. Not in this timeline. Not in this timeline, bro.
The Guidestones are broken. We're getting 100.
No, well, I was talking to my wife about the Guidestones because she's never heard of them, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they're pretty creepy." And I've read all of it. It's
all right. More educate me, because I know very little.
Oh, you don't know anything about the Guidestones?
I know very little, other than what my chat has said, but I don't know much.
So the Guidestones are more of this like new. It talks about like how population is supposed to be only at 500 million people. And that's where it's supposed to stop. And because it's for the environment, it's very much like an environmentalist. Yeah, it's very New World Ordery. Like if they were to put up, it's 10 things. So it's like their new 10 commandments that have been placed in Georgia.
And it was anonymously erected, apparently.
Well, I looked at the Wikipedia, and I guess that's not true. I did look at it.
I stand corrected.
Let me just here. I'll read some of the things. Let me read. Yeah. Let's see. Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. That's number one. That's number one of your commandments. Guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language. So they're trying to get you to a new language. Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Which I could go with that one. Sure. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule eternally or internally, resolving external disputes in a world court, which sounds very much New World Ordery. Yeah. Like, oh yeah. Everybody's going to this world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials, which I can go for that one as well. I'm a very libertarian based.
Agreed.
Balance personal rights and social duties. Okay. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite, and be not a cancer on earth. Leave room for nature. And it says leave room for nature twice. So
that's a little broad and abstract, if you ask me. The last one for sure.
It's very, I think that it's kind of creepy. Why? And like you said, they were erected. I don't know.
Apparently there's a hole that always points to the North Star. Like he always shows the North Star every time if you're looking through it. It's like precision drill.
Flat Earth confirmed.
Yeah.
Really, Charlie Sheen just did it on a meth binge one day and brought the stones out there. Did you guys see the video where they show the video of it like running up to it? It explodes, and then the video pauses for 1 second and starts back up with a different frame.
Yeah, they got World Trade Center. They got Pentagon. Pentagon.
They got Pentagon.
I was like, what? How could you guys possibly release this to the public? The people in like South Louisiana right now who are conspiracy theorists are freaking out because
it's almost like they left just enough. Like they did it on purpose almost. Right?
There's only tinfoil on the Pentagon lawn. That's for sure.
It was so suspect. So suspect, dude.
No, I mean, all of it is weird. I mean, we live in a weird reality in general. So, I mean, you could get.
I'm just comfortable not knowing everything. I'm interested in everything, but I'm comfortable not knowing the answers to everything that's happening.
Yeah, because you could get deep into some of this stuff where you have.
And it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't.
Having wisdom isn't always the best thing. It's like get this out of my head. You can't ever turn it back.
Yeah. True. Yeah. It's like being Cypher from the Matrix when you want to just go back. Correct. You just want to go back into the reality. Like, please just let me back in. I don't want to
I want to be
Nebuchadnezzar's.
Yeah. And I don't want to remember one thing. You got that? I don't want to be based or red pilled. I want to be blue pilled so much. I'm dancing in the streets with some of them.
Especially the Nebuchadnezzar Shellback hazing fest. Definitely don't want to remember that.
Is there footage? I bet there's footage of that online somewhere.
Oh, there has to be at this point. There has to be.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
All right, well, that's an hour. Thanks for Rags to Riches.
Yeah, be good, man.
Dude. Yeah, you guys are amazing.
It's good meeting you, man.
Guys,
you too,
Rags to Riches. Where can we find you at? I would like to, Twitter's, YouTube's. Go ahead and
ragstorichessquad.com.
ragstorichessquad.com. Check him out, guys. He's an awesome dude. Cool dude. He streams twice a day, guys. Twice a day. That's so he's getting them numbers under
I took that motivation from you, Hexologist.
Oh, well, thank you.
Can I ask this to Explosive Artist? Do people know you by the name of Hexplosive, or do they know you by the name Artist?
Usually it's Explosive.
He doesn't go by his last name.
Yeah. I'm just on a first name basis.
He was an explosive. I was
an infantry assaultman, so I was basically a rifleman, but I specialized in combat breaching demolitions and rockets. And stuff.
Oh, cool! So just a little bit of fertilizer and diesel fuel. That's all we need around here, right?
That's the best part about explosive. The imagination.
Cut it, Hex.
Well, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for coming. And yeah, go check out Rags to Riches. He streams every day, and we'll do it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem, man. Take care, bro.
All right.
You take it